Hello and welcome to Rent and Review. So this week we're going to be looking at some of our top level comedies. There's going to be five-ish.
Six comedies we think are solid movies.
So starting straight away with
the Hangover Trilogy. So I say trilogy, I mean the Hangover Part 1 we're going to talk about.
Yeah, when we're talking about good comedies, we're talking about Hangover Part 1. So it stars Zach Galifianakis, Bradley Cooper and Ed Helms, directed by Todd Phillips.
It's written by John Lucas and Scott Moore. You've got four guys on a stag do weekend in Las Vegas. Basically, three of them wake up in the morning with no memory of what happened the night before or where their fourth friend has gone.
And they've got a bit of a hangover.
I really enjoy this film.
Yeah, it's really good fun. It's quite well observed.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is important.
Yeah, it's a classic in its own right, and they should have left it there. Unfortunately, they did have to carry on and do the other two. The second one, which is literally just copy and paste.
It's a carbon copy of the same. You've literally got up Microsoft Word, you've got your work, and you've copied and pasted.
The film actually starts with Bradley Cooper on the phone saying, "We've done it again." The fact that they're calling themselves out on it still doesn't forgive the fact that that is what they're doing.
So the second one's just a waste of time. Then they decided to make a third one, and this is possibly one of the worst films I've ever seen. We didn't put this in sixth of the worst. It could have been in there. It deserved its place in there, I think. This film is an absolute misery. They don't even have a hangover. The plot what's the plot? Watch that film and tell me the plot. You won't be able to because it's so stupid. Going back to Hangover, yeah, it's kind of for lads, drinks. But you can do that and it can work.
It's worth watching. It's not incredible, but as a comedy,
there's a lot of laughs.
Yeah, in it. And that's what a comedy is about.
Exactly.
So moving on to something slightly different. This is a kind of snappier, more intelligent offering. This is In the Loop.
So here we've got Tom Hollander, James Gandolfini and Peter Capaldi, the exceptional Peter Capaldi. Written by Jesse Armstrong and Armando Iannucci. So obviously we've got Jesse Armstrong we know from Peep Show.
One of our, actually possibly our favourite comedy of all time.
So this is why you can see the film's been written so well. So anyway, you've got the plot. It's basically a political satire about American and British politicians trying to prevent a war between the two countries. If you're not into politics, I'm not, and I don't think you are either. I went into it thinking, right, it's a kind of a boring plot. I don't really know how this is going to work as a comedy. I was so wrong. I've never laughed so much. It's possibly the funniest comedy I've ever seen. It's absolutely hilarious.
So Armando Iannucci also wrote for The Thick of It. If you've seen The Thick of It, the TV series, also starring Peter Capaldi as Malcolm Tucker. It's basically the same kind of thing. He works in politics. He is the bloke who will sort of twist your arm, manipulate you, get things done. And the language that comes out of his mouth is pure genius. This is lyrical swearing. I can't. You shouldn't promote it, but it is beautiful.
The way he makes it work. It's jargon language used intelligently, and it just works so well.
And that's exactly what he does in this film. James Gandolfini obviously offering the American side of things, but they still play off against each other so well. Just go and watch the trailer. You'll see just a little snippet of just how intelligent it is.
I mean, it really is. Not a lot happens in the movie, but it's so gripping
and so snappy
and so funny. The amount of laughs is endless, absolutely endless. Peter Capaldi is at his finest in this movie.
He's a genius, definitely one to watch.
On to the next movie, we have Superbad.
This is, I enjoy this. This is a bit of a classic.
So we have Michael Cera and Jonah Hill, two of my personal favourite comedian actors. Directed by Greg Mottola, I think that's how you pronounce it, not too sure. But he also did Adventureland, which again is a really intelligent
That's a nice film.
Yeah, it's kind of calm but nice.
Quite a good comedy.
So it's written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Basically the plot is just two high school guys want to have one last blowout before college. Now the premise could worry a lot of people. You could think, right, this is going to be really bad.
Or it could be maybe an American carbon copy of The In-Betweeners. But this is just such a fun film. It kind of embraces that kind of lad culture and that kind of nature, but in a typically awkward, nerdy American Michael Cera and Jonah Hill partnership way. And that's the joy of it. As Seth Rogen obviously wrote and also stars in it, he plays a cop with Bill Hader, who as a duo just play off each other so well. And it's just some of the finest American comedy names in there.
I love it. It just works. So it's not the most intelligent, it's not the most witty comedy you'll ever see, but you just watch it and have fun. And that's the important thing about this film. It's not gone out there to be an amazing comedy. It's gone out there to be a great fun film.
Yeah, you just go along for the ride with it. You just take what the characters give you. If you enjoy Seth Rogen films, his writing, his acting, that's the kind of thing you're going for in this film. And then obviously with Jonah Hill and Michael Cera,
you know what you're going to get.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get. This is what they do, and they do it here brilliantly.
Yeah, if you love those two and the way they are, you'll enjoy the film. If you don't, you won't like it. But yeah, that's obviously your opinion.
It's also got a very young-looking Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and I think his first ever film. I think he was 17 when he did it, and he also does.
He's amazing.
He does very well in this film.
So funny. Honestly, some of the highest laughs.
That was a high laugh.
That was a high laugh. It's some of the best laughs I've had in a while watching this film. The 90 minutes of this comedy flies by.
It's 90 minutes well spent. So moving on, we're cheating again a bit by talking about a trilogy, but this is a coveted British comedy trilogy. Classic. This is the Blood and Ice Cream, or Cornetto Trilogy, made up of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz and The World's End. All written and directed by Edgar Wright, also written by Simon Pegg, who stars, of course, with Nick Frost. They're a classic comedy duo. If you've ever seen Spaced, the TV programme that kind of started them off, that's genius. That's definitely worth a watch. In terms of films, you can't go wrong with these films. They are all obviously very similar in style, but all different enough in their own right that they're all brilliant standalone films. They're just so intelligent, whereas Superbad is good fun. These are just clever and snappy.
They're really intelligent scripting, and it's just snappy, it's fast, like you say. It's ridiculous. The films are ridiculous.
Oh, they are. They all have ridiculous premises. So the first one starts off with the eponymous Sean, played by Simon Pegg, loses his girlfriend. She breaks up with him. And then the next day they find out the zombie apocalypse has happened. It's just a real life situation placed into this completely ridiculous other situation, and it's them trying to cope with it. Definitely a black comedy, there's some dark moments in there, but overall it's just a great package. It's stylised, it's Edgar Wright, it's brilliant.
I think that's the key word there. These films are stylised, this trilogy. It's got its distinctive own style, and it's different from most films out there. I just think it's absolutely... I love it.
If I had to pick a favourite, it's a toss-up for me between Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I enjoyed The World's End. I think we both did.
Enjoyed The World's End. I thought the scripting for that was actually brilliant. And I thought the whole idea of it was excellent.
It's so tight, the script for it, I've got to admit. It's just...
The ending for me, I don't know.
The ending, there's a couple of elements. Again, it's what they do in the films. You know, they take a real life situation and then they place it into this other bizarre situation and they have to deal with it. For me, I think because the scripting it's testament to how tight the scripting was for the third film and everything. I felt they almost didn't need to go with the whole alien thing.
Took it one step too far.
And then it almost felt like they didn't quite know how to end it. This is no offence to Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. They're both brilliant, genius writers.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a massive issue.
When you take it as a whole package, just watch it, you'll enjoy it. And
basically, Simon Pegg does his stuff, Nick Frost does his stuff.
Yeah.
In a great performance.
They're made for each other. They're a perfect duo.
They are. So we'll move on to the final movie we're going to talk about today, which is the South Park movie. It's just... wow. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they also wrote and direct the whole thing, every character. 4 boys, schoolboys, young lads, go to see an R-rated movie. They get in basically through a homeless man. And it rubs off on them negatively and the way they speak in front of their parents. And it's absolutely hilarious. It's absolute madness. It's madness, but it is amazing.
It's the best of South Park. If you've ever seen South Park, the TV series, it is bizarre. It is snappy in a sort of British comedy way.
Sorry, their 2D animation just works.
The whole style of it is just kind of so suited to their writing. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they have a vision. They know what they want to do with their comedy. And
they are head cases. There's no two ways about it. They are head cases.
But it just plays off so well.
The first half an hour of the film is the funniest half an hour of any film
I think it's the hardest to ever laughed at any film.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
I mean, it's so rude, but you just get over that when you get used to the characters.
That's the style of the humour, and you just have to embrace it and go along with it, and it is fantastic. It's so funny.
It's similar to the series, but what worries me when series do a movie, can they pull it off? Because a 90-minute movie is a lot different to doing half-an-hour episodes.
Yeah, you can't just do like a 90-minute feature episode. You have to have something special and do something different, or you have to just try and maintain that level of comedy all the way through.
Yeah.
And I think this film does it.
This film manages to do it. I think the second half of the film isn't quite as funny, but as a whole, it really is absolutely a bag of laughs. Some people will not like this kind of thing, and it could be too crude for you and things like that, which is fine. If you understand that kind of humour and what they're going for, you really will laugh a lot.
So that sums up 5-ish of our favourite comedies of all time. We'll do another video at some point on some of the best and also some of the worst, because they do have to be mentioned. They are out there.
There's too many for my liking.
We will talk about them eventually. So thanks for watching.
Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it.
Give us a like and subscribe and a comment below. So, see you soon.
See you soon.